Good morning, YouTube. So it has been some time, but I made this commitment that today I will take you through a full day in the life, what I'm doing. So it's rest day. It is just gone 5:30 in the morning. So start off every morning by just rehydrating. So I have 500 mils of water, and in here I have one of these raw hydration sachets and 10 grams of glutamine, and I'll just start off with my first bout of supplements. So I do all my health supplements with meal one. This is just my T3, T4, Talmosartan, and I also have an antihistamine in there because I have a like histamine skin condition. I get histamine reactions and I come out with like it's like eczema on my elbow every now and then, so I just have to take antihistamines to clear it up. So I will start sipping on this, get this down over the next few minutes, and I'm going to start preparing my first meal now. Okay, so first things first, 2 grams of pink salt, and we have 100 grams of oats. I'm actually using this oatmeal. It is an instant oatmeal biscuit custard flavor, right? So obviously plain oats are boring, and most people mix whey in them or pour like a whey drip over them. I absolutely hate both of those. I hate the texture when you mix your whey into your oats, and I just don't like a whey drip on top. So I managed to find these in the Benus Gym supplement store, and they are by a brand Quamtrax. It's basically just oats grounded up, and there's like a flavoring to them, same macros and everything as oats. Obviously there is some sweeteners and stuff in there, but not going to be worried about that, and they actually taste really good. So I'll get these in there. Not on prep, but we're still accurate with our measurements to an OCD level. Okay, so it's 100 grams of oats. With that, I will do 600 ml of boiling water. Seems a lot, but I made this today, and I did 550. It was a little bit thick when I let it set, so I'm going to go 600. And it takes a while to mix up. It goes quite clumpy initially. Probably should pour a little bit in and mix it first and then add more water, but hey, we live and learn. I'll do that next time. Okay, so we will just pop that in the microwave for a couple of minutes. Okay, so now that that is done, we are just going to add 100 grams of fruit. I'm going to do a mixture of dark sweet cherries and blueberries. So 50 grams of each, well, roughly 100 grams total. 1 stevia, some organic cinnamon, lots of cinnamon, we like cinnamon, and finally 10 grams of peanut butter. This drizzle squirt peanut butter gives you way more bang for your buck. Seems like you're getting a lot more peanut butter. Right, so now that that is done, I'm going to pop it in the fridge, and it will be in the fridge for roughly 2 hours before it's actually time to eat, by the time I get the rest of my morning done. Which I'll run you through. I'm going to go sit down for now, a little bit now, just relax for a few minutes, get my body nice and calm. Then I will take my blood pressure. Then it will be time to walk the dogs, and as it is rest day, I will do a little bit of cardio. I have removed cardio from training days, but I will do 20 minutes of cardio today, followed by some abs, and then it will be time for meal one. Okay, so that is blood pressure checked, 119/63 today, so pretty good. I'm really happy with that, as over the last 10 days or so I've actually reduced my telmisartan from 80 to 40, and today now we're on 20. So reduce that right down, so I am checking it fasted in the morning and again later on in the evening, just to make sure we're keeping on top of that. So that's that all done. Time to go walk the dogs. Milo, walkies, walkies. Do you want to go for your walks?
You ready? Are you ready?
That's a nice, easy 3,000 steps done. Roughly 20 minutes around the complex. Now we're back. Gonna jump on my ARC trainer. For 20 minutes I will probably listen to a little bit of some form of podcast, and then once that's done I will walk over to the complex gym to do some abs. Not something I've always done, I'll be honest. I've actually only implemented this post-show, as it's an area that I really feel I need to work on, is my midsection. So every other day I'm walking over there and doing some abs and calves, but I won't be doing calves today because I did legs yesterday and did some calves at the end there, so they're a little tight, so no need to do them. Just some abs and then we can finally eat. Right, that is cardio done. Just 20 minutes, but as you can see, or I hope you can see, I'm not sure in the sliding, did break quite a sweat. So it's not just light cardio, it's pretty intense. Like, something I have to say a lot with clients is cardio is cardio. You need to actually be working, not just moving your legs. That's what steps are for. So quick walk over to the complex gym, just about 100 meters away, if even, and we will get some abs done. Not too much. With abs, as I said, I'm doing them sort of every other day. And I don't have a set routine of exercises. I generally do just 2 exercises. I pick 2 when I go in, and I do 3 sets of each of 10 to 20 reps depending on the exercise. So today I am going to do a cable crunch, be 15 to 20 reps on those, and then I will do a crunch on the decline bench that they have, the ab bench. You all know the one. I don't even know what it's called. Decline ab bench. And then it will be time to come back from meal 1 and get stuck into my day. It is rest day, but we do have a pretty busy day ahead. First things first, I have already got back to a lot of immediate client messages that have come through. I had no check-ins to do. I always get my check-ins boxed off same day, but obviously having a lot of American clients, I did have some messages and questions come through, so they were the first thing I did this morning. Being in Dubai, majority of check-ins will start coming through around 12. Well, they should all be in by 12:1. Other than sort of my clients who are ahead of time in Singapore. I have quite a few in Singapore, but none of them are checking in today. Wednesday's not a hectic check-in day, so Wednesdays are usually dedicated to furthering my knowledge. So I am starting the J3U level 2 today. I have had access to it since about a month ago, but with competing at the Arnold and then traveling to the UK for the Arnold UK for Josh, life has been hectic, so I didn't want to get started on it when I can't give it my sort of full concentration. So that will be started today. I will do an hour or 2 on that. Then I will get to check-ins, and then at 4 p.m. I have my weekly call with Luke Miller from J3 and one of the other coaches, Alex. We have a weekly call where we discuss any sort of client problems, and we go through some education stuff as well. So those of you that aren't aware, I actually work with J3 University now as a coach, and we'll be going to the education side of things in the future with them. Yeah, so Obviously anyone who's followed me a long time will know that I've preached a lot about J3 University. It's where I've done a lot of my own education. I've done the level 1, the female module, and the advanced hypertrophy, and obviously now moving into the level 2, which is the newest one. So massive benefits to doing those. It's taught me loads about being a good coach and a responsible coach. So if anyone who's watching this wants to get on board with the J3 University and further their coaching ability, get started with the level 1, and you can use a code Darren10 to save some money there at the next intake of clients into it. Alright, finally, time for meal 1, and like I said earlier, 2 hours after I was talking to you preparing it, it's now 5 to 8, so I've been up since 5:30, and we are going to have meal 1 now. There is a lot going on here, so let me quickly run you through it. First things first, I have morning supplements, krill oil, glucose disposal agent, digestive enzyme, betaine HCl, Levagen. Then we have the Revive sort of multivitamin pack. It's got a mixture of everything in here. These are just very useful to cover all bases. Alongside this, I have my greens drink, which is the Eva Greens. Inside that as well, I have my Lipid Max, and I will also have a vitamin C. There is also 10 grams of creatine in here. I always just take my creatine in this drink because it's the only way I remember to use it. Right, what else do we have? We have 200 mils of kefir, and the one I use is the Biotiful Gut Health Kefir drink, coconut flavor. Not much flavor of coconut, but it's okay. Added this in recently for gut health. It's amazing. So many probiotics in it, really good for your gut. Big focus for me moving forward in this next part of my phase is really fixing my gut health, so that's not going to be an issue. We also have 60 grams of whey isolate blended in here. I have the Evogen Isojet vanilla cold brew, absolutely amazing. One thing to note here is, being a rest day, slightly more protein per meal. So normally this is 50, today it's 60 on a rest day, because I actually only have 5 meals on a rest day opposed to 6, so my protein content is a little higher. And what you saw me making up earlier, as you can see, it is set lovely in the fridge. We have our 100 grams of oats, 100 grams of berries, and 10 grams of nut butter. We will also have a coffee alongside this. Inside this coffee, I have a sort of cognitive function matrix in there from Inspire in America. If you see closely, you will see the MCT oil not quite separated, so I've got to mix it through. As I said a while ago, I am going to be going in to do the J3U level 2 after meal 1 in a while, so I want to be ready and focused. And this isn't for me, this is for the dogs. Every morning after we finished, I give them a spoon of peanut butter each, and they absolutely love it. Don't you love it, Milo? The peanut butter? Is it good? Yeah? That's why they're sitting here so patiently. They will sit there until we give them peanut butter. This is why we normally use crunchy peanut butter. This stuff is way too runny.
Oh my god, they're gonna be there for hours.
So nice, Milo. Okay, so it is now 9:45. I'm showered, done a few bits around the house, ready to sit down and get stuck into J3U level 2 for little over 2 hours. At 12 o'clock, I will start preparing food and stuff that I need for my next 2 meals. So yeah, time to get stuck into this. I am doing this on the couch in the living room because I will be in the office a lot later on today, so want a change of scenery, and it's nice and comfortable. I have my 1.5 litres of water with BCAs, so I'll sip on this while I'm doing this and just get focused and get stuck in. Okay, not planned, didn't know this was coming today, but we have a delivery from one of my sponsors, TuffWraps. Some of their new clothing. We have this tan t-shirt, grey t-shirt. These are all oversized, they're actually awesome. What else do we have in here? Same one in black. We have some of the mesh shorts. This I did request. A logbook for me. Also got one for Becky, and then we have some of these. I have been using these lately for my push sessions. Obviously, I've had this elbow issue for a long time. It's like, I'm not too sure completely. It's kind of like a tendonitis, but it's a little bit more serious. And I get this like electric shock clicking through it when I press heavy. But these being nice and tight on it do help. So we have these in the 12-inch, 13-inch, 13-inch. We have a new set of elbow sleeves, and also the knee sleeves. So thank you very much. That will keep me going for another while. If you do want to order anything from TuffWraps, you can use my code DF10 to save some money and support me, so very much appreciated. Time is 12:30. Finished up the module for J3 level 2, and I'm all caught up now. So we're just getting everything ready for my next 2 meals. We have all of the veg. We have marrow, which is kind of like zucchini. We have red onion, yellow pepper, and tomatoes there. So I'm going to throw those in the air fryer. And I have my chicken ready to go. That's 500 grams of raw weight, so it's for the next 2 meals. And I've just seasoned that with this Korean style barbecue seasoning and a little sweet paprika. If it'll focus. There we go. So that will go in for 32 minutes into the air fryer at 190. And I will also put on 70 grams of jasmine rice for this meal as well. And while that's cooking, I'm going to sit down and answer some of the questions that came through on my Instagram yesterday. Everything is prepared and on. Rice is in the rice cooker with a little sweet paprika in it as well. I like my red rice. So we've got about 35-40 minutes, so that's all ready. So I have finished that 1.5 litres of water that I showed you guys earlier while I was studying, I guess. So that is a total of 3.5 litres of water today. So I'm going to treat myself to one of these. It is basically sparkling water but flavoured. They're called candy cans. Stupid expensive. They're like two pounds or like $3. Basically 10 dirham over here. So I don't get them that often, but they are nice. 0 sugar, 0 calories. So birthday cake one is definitely the best. They have like marshmallow, sour apple, loads of them. Anyway, let's get stuck into these questions that I got sent in yesterday. I'm not going to go through them all. I've screenshotted a page. Right, would you recommend competing within the first 3 years of training? Yeah, I probably would. Obviously your focus is going to be on, you know, building your physique, but if your long-term goal is to compete and be a bodybuilder and compete competitively and stuff, more time on stage gives you experience. Also, you kind of learn by getting stage lean where you really need to work, and also get an understanding if it's really for you. You know, if you're like, yeah, I want to be a competitive bodybuilder, I want to be a pro bodybuilder, and you train for it for 10 years, and then you get on stage and you realize you hate being on stage and it's not for you. It's kind of a waste of all that dedication. Well, not really, because obviously it's going to benefit you, but yeah, I certainly would. I would get a good solid year or so under your belt at least, before even considering stepping on stage. But definitely, if it's a long-term goal for you, I would say in the first 3 years, definitely get on stage, learn what it feels like, learn to go through the process, and also understand your body and where you need to work on. This one, want to see how you relax after a hard workout. Well, I can't show you right now because it's rest day. Generally, my days are the exact same on training days. You know, my days revolve around routine, and it's pretty monotonous. So the morning is exactly as you will have seen it, up at like 5:30, get things prepared, get hydrated, blood pressure, dog walk. Training days, there's no cardio, but I still will do abs and calves every other day. On the days I'm not, I will kind of watch a podcast or something for a little bit, and then meal one's always around sort of 7:45, 8, and then I'm in the gym for 9:30, 10 to train, home by sort of 12:31. And then I just take about an hour to myself. I eat a meal in a relaxed state. So I sit and I watch some YouTube for a little bit, and then I sit down and I get stuck into check-ins for the next couple hours. And I generally try and switch off at like 6:37, where me and Bex will just sit and watch a series on Netflix. Currently watching Rookie, which has been out a while, but absolutely amazing. We're loving it. So yeah, that's kind of how my days go. They're all the same. My kind of relaxed days tend to be a Saturday or Sunday, where I don't take check-ins, regular check-ins. Obviously clients who are competing, who are on daily or every other day, they will be checking in, but it doesn't take up a huge amount of time. Still train on a Saturday, and that's the day we'll kind of head out and do something or go out, maybe a cinema or something like that. Can steps be overdone in an off-season base also while doing 20 to 25 minutes of cardio? Of course. So you kind of have to monitor all your markers you're taking into account there with training performance, sleep, recovery, all of these sort of things. For the average person, it's very hard. Like, I'll give you an example. At the Arnold UK, where I was over last weekend, my steps were minimum sort of 26,000 when I was there for those days, and that was a lot, and I felt it on my body. I remember on the Saturday being like, holy shit, I am starving in the evening, like crazy starving. And I was like, that's when I checked my steps, and I was like, that day I'd done 31,000. I was like, no wonder. So the expenditure there was a hell of a lot, and then basically exceeded by my baseline. So where I was like on food and I was comfortable and happy and appetite was okay, I'd done so much output that had driven my hunger up. And doing that over a long period of time where you're doing a lot will probably have an impact on overall recovery and training performance. So all you got to do is monitor what you're actually doing in terms of your steps relative to your recovery and your progress that you're looking to see in terms of your rate of gain, and then adjust what you need to. So it might be a case of even removing the cardio every day, and if you are in a gaining phase there where your body weight's quite a bit up, you still want to have some HIIT cardio in there for cardiovascular health, but removing the sort of general output. How important is it to track veggies off season and pre-contest? So it's definitely important. I don't actually track the calories, but what I do is I have a consistent baseline of what I use. Like, you will have just seen me there preparing that veg. That's the same veg I have for meal 2 and well, it's meal 2 and 3 today. It's usually meal 3 and 4 on a training day. I have that exact same amount, so there's no change there. I have 2 of the marrows, 1 whole onion, 1 whole tomato, and 1 whole yellow pepper or green pepper, and that's my veg for those 2 meals. So it's consistent. So as long as you're not, especially on prep, and what we see a lot as well, when calories come down, people are loading in veg, which can affect on, you know, increase in fiber, increase of calories, and ultimately affecting digestion. So you definitely want to be consistent in your intake there, but not necessarily tracking the calories. I think that's a bit much. Mindset for off-season weight gain and off-plan meals. Right, that's a good question. I think your mindset around off-season weight gain will be okay if you are, well, for me, I have always found I've always been more conscious of my weight gain when I know I haven't been consistent with my plan and I've cheated my diet and stuff like that. But I know when I'm doing things 100% every day, I'm ticking all my boxes, that the weight gain is a positive, and I actually see it that way, and I'm happy to see the scales go up relative to the rate of gain I'm looking for. If the gain is too much, then I'm going to adjust the plan. Off-plan meals, certainly something that should be incorporated into off-season and be a regular there. But they need to be controlled and within the confines of your goal. So you're not going out for a binge and eating 4 burgers, 4 fries and ice cream. You're just having an untracked meal that's relatively sensible, and you're sort of looking at your portion control. How you know this, I actually talked about I answered a question on my story, or talked about on my story just a little bit ago on Instagram, where if you're seeing like some weight gain the next day after an off-plan meal may be okay. So you're looking at like 2 to 4 pounds is nothing. It's going to be a little bit of water retention from sodium and stuff. But if you're getting like 6+ pounds, the amount of food you've eaten is too much. Also in an off season, what you have to be conscious of is you are already in a surplus. So unlike a prep or something, or when you're in a dieting phase, if you eat too much, you're in a deficit where it will gradually come down. In an off season, if that weight is holding up consistently across the week, you need to adjust the confines of your off-plan meal. But the more regular, more used to and happy you are with having off-plan meals, so if you're having like one every week or 2 every week, the want and the need to binge will deteriorate. But the more you get stressed about them, and then you end up not having them for ages, and then you break, you're gonna cheat your diet more. So anyone you are most excited about seeing compete this year don't have to be your client. Not really. I'm excited about all my clients competing. I get a huge buzz around show weekends, and fortunately enough, I've quite a few at the moment. I had the Arnold UK with Josh, which obviously was an amazing experience. To have the privilege of coaching at huge shows like that is amazing, and it's where I've always wanted to be. Following weekend just gone, I had 3 in the first regional of the UK in the 2 bros, the condition coaches regional, where I had Chantel, Sam and Sertaj compete. Chantel and Sam both took first. Chantel actually taking first in 2 classes, both masters figure and open class C, and very close to the overall, if I'm honest. She looked amazing, especially since she's masters and natural, so in the figure category she's absolutely amazing. And then Sertaj took 3rd in open bodybuilding. So then next weekend, again, I have the Ben Weider Pro Qualifier, where I have Sam, who will actually be in Classic Physique, and Sertaj, again, who'll be in the under 90s. So that's awesome. But I just love, to be honest, I don't pay a huge amount of attention to shows that I'm not involved in, like with clients. If I'm honest, I'm not hugely excited about them, but any of my clients, always excited for them to compete. The most common reason for someone switching coaches, that's a very personal question for the individual. They may have not been happy with their results, or not happy with how things were going, communication or lack thereof. I think most of the time it's just change. Change is good. You've kind of run your course, and there's that sense of just wanting to see what else is out there. I'd say that's mostly the case for the majority of people. If someone had a lot of weight to reach their cap, would you wait until they do to compete again? No, because the weight means nothing in terms of being on stage. The judges don't know your weight, so it's all about the visuals and the looks. So I know plenty of guys competing in Classic Physique who are way under their cap and look huge, look phenomenal. So it's all about the ratios, the balance of the physique and the condition. Prime example would be Terence Ruff, and I think when he won Dubai last year, he was like 10 or 11 pounds under the cap. So don't get fixated on weight. Training around a newborn baby. I have 0 experience in this, so gonna be hard for me to give you an answer. But one thing I will say there is, obviously there is you and your partner, and your training is your thing. So I would sit down, discuss with her, how you can help her in times, and then when she can take over times, they can allow you to have time to train. So yeah, it's very much teamwork there, and teamwork and managing your routine and managing both of your routines around that and being consistent with it. But good luck with that.
Pause. I have a surprise for you.
What's this?
You got me an Easter egg, so I went to Spinneys and they didn't have loads of white eggs.
Epic.
But I got you the 222, and then I was like, fuck it, I'll get you one so you can have it on a rest day as well. There's 2 there.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, white chocolate is my absolute favorite thing, and my other favorite thing is cream egg. So when the white chocolate cream egg came out, it's like crack to me. And actually it was the first thing when I arrived at the Arnold UK into Birmingham Airport, and my client Josh came and picked me up. He had one of these for me, which was absolutely amazing. So that is awesome. Thank you very much. And I've got one last, and it's not actually a question, it's include a full day of eating. Today's a day in the life, you will see some food, but I'm not going to break down the macros and everything. I will do full day of eating videos in the coming weeks separately, and I will talk about my reasonings why I do things and behind, which will be quite interesting, as I've changed my approach quite a bit in terms of the quality and stuff of food sources I'm using and what I'm implementing and stuff for my gut health, which anyone who follows me on Instagram, I have spoken about a little bit, and you'll have seen snippets of it, but I will go more into that, more into detail in that in the coming weeks. I still have a bit of time before my food's ready, and I'm absolutely starving. Quite a bit of time has passed since I last checked in with you guys. Just busy getting through check-ins and doing some other bits around the place. So it is now 20 to 4, so I have a little bit of time before my call with Luke and Alex from J3, where we have our sort of weekly catch up and go through anything that we want to talk about with clients, and then some educational stuff from Luke, who's an absolute genius, by the way. Right, so I didn't show you my last meal. As I said, today's not a full day of eating, so I will go through full day of eating in a future video. The reality is, haven't got up to a whole lot today. Haven't left the house. That's the reality of being an online coach, and it's rest day, so I'm not in the gym. It's all work. As in this morning, education, going through the J3U course, and then client check-ins. But now it is time for meal 3. If you can see, I have chicken, veg. I showed you all that veg I had earlier cooked up, so it's half of that veg, chicken, and then I have a load of air fried potato. So typically on training days, I keep my carb sources to rice based. So I just have cream of rice, and I use rice noodles actually in my final meal, which I'll also do today. But on rest days, I kind of do a few substitutions here and there. Something I'm trying to get better at is some change in my diet, you know, not just eating the same things over and over again, because that can lead to sort of gut problems and stuff like that if you're not having variety in your diet. So having lots of color, lots of different veg, and also I've got some kimchi in this meal as well, and then also just some variety in my sort of carb sources. They're the easiest ones to do, you know, so like for like, it's this meal could either be 100 grams of raw weight rice or 420 grams of potato, or I could do like whole wheat pasta or something like that. But I happen to really like potato at the moment, so it's kind of like a treat, but still being within my macros. So yeah, I'm gonna sit down, enjoy this, take my time, and then I will be getting on that call. So I will check in with you guys a little later. Okay, so it is 6:30 now, and I am just getting meal 4 ready. It is my second last meal of the day. My last meal is my last proper meal. My final meal of the night is Greek yogurt, protein, berries, nut butter. I've actually been making it into some protein pancakes and Greek yogurt berries, topped with Greek yogurt berries and nut butter. But final meal, sort of proper meal, and this has been one of my favorite meals the last like 2 weeks. I am cooking up some rice pasta and beef mince, which I'll show you here. So I've got the beef mince cooked with onion, spices, tomato, and secret ingredient, 30 grams of Philadelphia Light, which is 44 calories. And that just makes a nice creamy sort of sauce for it. And then I mix through the rice pasta, and it's a pretty damn voluminous meal, especially today on a rest day, because the rice pasta is 100 grams, whereas it's only 70 on my training days at the moment, with just the way the calories work out. And I quite like only having the 5 meals on my rest day and have them a little further apart. So I'm just going to get this ready, eat it, chill out. I did finish off all my remaining sort of client work. I'm getting back to messages that have come through from clients in response to their check-ins from today. So now it is time to unwind for the evening and relax, watch some Netflix, watch a bit more of Rookie. Although I did see on Apple TV I can get the new Phil Heath documentary, but I think I will save that for the weekend.